Hello and welcome to our latest video podcast on our MES tool release highlights of the spring 2022 release. And we are going to look into MES Model and Refactor, in short MoRe. And I have Alex here with me from the MoRe team. Hello, Alex.
Hi, everyone.
So we are both going to look into the new highlights of MES Model and Refactor version 3. It's a new major version. And let's see what the new features are. The first one is a new layout action that is called adjust blocks to sources. Maybe, Alex, you could show us a little bit more what this action does and show it how it works.
Yeah, I'll be happy to show you. I have prepared some models where I can show you the new functionality. It is kind of the same or equal to our last action. Adjust blocks to destinations, but it completes these kind of actions into the other direction. So you can always now use it also backwards. Let's start here. For example, you have 3 blocks here now, and in the old example, it was connected to a destination block where the lines were not straight, but in this case, it's connected to one source block. And you want to align your blocks so that the lines are straight here. And yeah, you can just use a single selection here. For example, you would want to adjust this block here, adjust block to source, and it will adjust this block. Or you can also make a multi-selection and adjust multiple blocks at once, and it will straighten these lines here. And like the other action, you can also use it to change the size of the blocks. For example, here you have a bus creator and multiple imports, and now you want to have the bus creator at the size that all these blocks lines are straight. And this is very annoying to do by hand because you are changing the size a bit too much or too less, and everything is And so you can use this action here, adjust block to source, and voila. You have now straight lines here and saved a lot of time and annoying work. And you can use it on a multi-selection of different kinds. So here it will do this all at once. So it will resize the blocks and will straighten the lines. And you have a nice layout.
Nice. So it's really tidied up. It looks clean and it's just a simple click. That's a very nice functionality. Ports, I saw that in the example you actually had a port numbering 2 and then 1, which brings me to the next feature that I saw, that now there is an automated port numbering if you actually carry out an action that affects the signals and the ports. Maybe you can show us a little bit more what that means and what this action does.
Of course, I'd be happy to. Indeed, we improved the ways our ports are numbered when we are adding signals or creating new inputs also. And here I've also prepared some examples. Here, the simple example is where you move a block through the hierarchical level 1 layer down, and you just select the block and you would use move blocks down. And in the old version, MoRe would always create the import at the bottom of the destination block. So we would have the signal at the lowest entry point here, and you won't go into the block where you would expect, because first here the signal goes in here, 𝘼𝙪𝙩𝙩𝙩, but after the action it would go down under C. And we changed this, so now the signals try to go in the same place as they went before. So if you now use move blocks down and move this block into the subsystem, you can see here the signal is now routed into this point here where the signal was connected before. So this is visually much more pleasing and more intuitive. This also works the other way around. If you want to move a block up here, for example, you just use move blocks up and it will add new imports here at this place, 2 and 3, and the signal will go out here where the first signal went out, were coming in. And so that's also more intuitive. And this also works for if you're adding connections between the layers. Here, for example, if I use the action add cross hierarchical signal, here is no connection to the subsystem, so we are not using the same connection, of course. So in this action, it will have a look where are the source blocks and will try to route the signal into the position that is correlated to the other source blocks of the imports here. And for example, if I route it down here to this apps block and hit OK, you can see it is entering at the second port here, and you now have the signal connection here and not at the bottom size. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a very nice layout action again to really make it helpful to quickly work with MoRe. And there's yet another action that is added to the latest release, and that is an action regarding an output signal that is routed through to a higher level. And maybe, Alex, you can also show us how that works.
Of course. So imagine you have a working down in your hierarchy of your level. For example, you are in your model at, I don't know, layer 10 or something, and you want to route the signal up to the top level, and you don't want to do it by hand, create all the in and out ports, or what you don't want to leave your current level where you're modeling. And we already had an action that we're adding an import signal from a higher level, so you could just create an input at your layer and route this to the top level. And now you can do this the other way around as well. You can just use to add output signal up to higher level, and a small dialog will open where you can select to which level you want to add your output signal. You can give it a name, my custom name. Then you can say at what places you want to name the signal. You can say line names, no line names at all, or you can say name all lines. I just let it off here, and it will create a new output here with my custom name. And it will route this to all the layers here to the top layer I have selected, and you have a new output signal going up to your top level. And you don't have to leave your working place here.
That I think is a very important benefit. You can just stay on the sub-level where you model and don't have to bother too much about the signal that you just have routed to a higher level. It can just be safe that it will be there where you want to have it later on during modeling.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thanks a lot, Alex, for this insight and showing us the new features of Model and Refactor 3.0. And the tool, of course, is available for download from our website and through the links of our tool update newsletter. So for me, it's only to say that I thank you very much for joining me, Alex, and see you soon, and goodbye to all our viewers.
Goodbye, everyone.